Man, that was really terrible tonight, man. Really terrible tonight. I'm gonna give all you my. I'm the Godfather Soldiers and Swimming. Give you all my predictions for rest of you. Name my topic tonight is called. My, my topic today is called tonight is called Mayhem in Massachusetts. Will Saturday's main event being a good this Saturday, and then I'm giving predictions. And yeah yeah. But before I do, I'm gonna show a little bit of music. I'm gonna show this number one hit single from 1985 called Invincible by Pat Benatar from the Legend of Billie Jean soundtrack. So stick around, right back, and the music playing. And by the way, today is Hispanic Heritage Month for all of you that know. The music playing. Okay, that was Invincible. All you just heard by Pat Benatar from the Legend of Billie Jean soundtrack. So let's get down to the show tonight, and hold on one second. Came back. So I was saying. So let's get down to business. It's stupid show today. WrestlePalooza tonight. And by the way, let's thank let's give some let's support Jerry the King Lawler for sweater his third stroke. This remarkable king got Jerry the W Hall from Jerry the King Lawler. Okay, WWE Raw kicks off and we see Penta walking backstage. The camera cuts to Stephanie Vaquera in the parking lot and it cuts to El Grande Americano. The camera cuts to Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Becky Lynch entering the arena. We see clips of last week's show showing Jey Uso spearing LA Knight. Live in the arena, Jey and Jimmy Uso walk into the arena and LA Knight pushes Jey Uso. In comes Adam Pearson, WWE officials who breaks it up, who tells them both meet him face to face, meet him in his office. In the arena, a loud John Cena chant from the crowd as his music hits and the fans begin to cheer. A loud John Cena chant from the crowd. He points to Alicia Taylor, who introduces him as the greatest of all time. Never seen 17 celebrating with each and every one of you tonight in Springfield one final time. The last real champion, John Cena. A loud John Cena chant from the crowd, and he says he gets to come back to Monday Night Raw in Springfield. A lot of noise, a lot of injury, a lot of young fans. He says he sees some young fans may not know this, but he spent a whole year playing football across the street over at Springfield College. Truth be told, he sees a lot of fans confused. The reason they may not know this because he was an offensive lineman. Quick job description: never get your name in the paper. You show up, you get your ass kicked. You show up the next day and ask to get your ass kicked again. It says Springfield College prepared him to live in WWE. He has friends in the house tonight. Teammates, friends over 30 years. He has family. He has a niece who couldn't make it. He wishes her a happy birthday. Cena says he needs this tonight, and he thanks Lisa for the introduction. He says he started that introduction with one thing, and he held it onto it because it evolved into a chance for the fans to show the world what they are all about, and for them to share a moment. And he said he needs that moment because he has to. Sorry about that. Finish up what I was saying is all you were. A little confused by lost track here. Needs that moment because he has a pretty tall hill to climb. A loud Cena chant from the crowd. He says the words "last champion" mean a lot to him. And at WrestlePalooza, Brock Lesnar wants to end the last real champion. He says Lesnar is very intimidating. No doubt is controversial. It's damn near invincible. The fans chant "Fuck you, Lesnar." Lesnar tells Netflix that the fans are chanting "Talk to Lesnar." He says Lesnar makes a target out of him when he returned and challenged him to a match. He had matches against Lesnar before. They are some of the toughest challenges he has ever faced. When Lesnar comes back, knocks him out, and challenges him to a match, why he doesn't say no? The fans chant, "Whoop his ass." Cena says if he says no, he can keep his health. The only person who will be pissed off is Brock Lesnar. Some will not be saying he's no smart, yet he has 6 appearances left. He says the thing that no one is safe, and it's easy for him. And it's easy. The fans chant, "Thank you, Cena." He says that right there is why I say yes. Cena says because he is the last real champion in all of his days here. He never fought one battle in the back. He fights them all in the ring. In the front of the most important audience in the world. To him, the last real champion is not about wearing a belt, being in the main event, being the face of the company. The last real champion. This place leaves better than they found it. This does not take his ball and go home. He lives through hustle, loyalty, and respect. You can give all that you have. Cena asks if he's afraid of Brock Lesnar. If he says Lesnar, yes he is. Could he fail? Yes he could. Will he go back down? Will he give up? Hell no. He says we will take the fight to the beast because that is what we do. He says the first time on ESPN, the Beast against the last real champion is a final showdown between 2 general titans. He tells Brock he doesn't care how many suplexes are in the city. He has founded his city while taking his best shots for 20 years. Points to a sign that says Cena's shorts are stronger than his jeans. Cena tells Lesnar if he wants some, come get some. Cena's music hits and as he celebrates in the ring. You cut backstage to see Adam Pearce with Jey Uso in the LA Knight. They argue and LA Knight says that he wants a piece of Bryan and Bronson. Pearce tells him he's not doing it by himself. LA Knight says he has just the person and says Jimmy Uso. Jey says that is his brother in LA. Knight says he is because they'll make it happen tonight. LA Knight walks away and Pearce tells Jey he can talk to Jimmy. And go to commercial break. Lyra Valkyrie versus Roxanne Perez. Bell rings are underway. Lyra waist down takedown. Perez with an armbar and she rolls Lyra up, but Lyra kicks out. Lyra to the ropes and she rolls Perez up, but Perez kicks out. Perez with a headlock and she runs towards Lyra, but Lyra with a leg sweep. Crossbody by Lyra. She goes for the cover, but Perez kicks out. Lyra to the top ropes, but Raquel trips her. The referee sees it and she ejects Raquel from ringside. Raquel gets to the ring apron. She argues as Perez rolls up, but the referee is distracted. The referee turns around, but Perez kicks out. Perez argues with the referee, and Lyra throws Perez to the ring out to the outside of the ring. Drop kick through the ropes by Lyra. She grabs Perez and throws her back down to the ring. Lyra climbs up to the top rope, but Perez trips down Lyra. Trips Lyra down. Back from commercial, Lyra invented a gut wrench to sit down powerbomb. She goes for cover, but Perez kicks out. Perez gets on the ring apron. Lyra goes for a suplex, but Perez gets Perez with right hands. Lyra goes on the second top rope. Perez gets on the top rope and she lands on her Karana. Perez with knees to the back. She goes for cover, but Lyra kicks out. Perez with a crossface, but Lyra counters and gets her to pin. Gets to her feet. Lyra with a night ring. She goes for the cover and gets the pin. Winner Lyra Valkyrie. A little payback. She got revenge. It goes after last year. She took the NXT Women's title from her at NXT Stand and Deliver last year. Who could forget? As Lyra is walking to the back, out comes Raquel, who hits her from behind. She throws Lyra into the ring and lands a big boot. Perez with a kick to the pop-up rocks. Out comes Bayley. She hits Raquel with forearms. Back suplex on Perez. Bayley throws Raquel shoulder first into the ring post. Bayley with a knee to the face onto Perez, followed by Bayley to belly. Fans chant Bayley, and Bayley looks at Lyra. Bayley stops and smiles. She runs to the outside and hugs Joe Tessitore and Corey Graves. Bayley hugs Alicia Taylor and begins hugging fans. She is absolutely a wacko. Adam Pearce is backstage with Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquera. Pearce makes the match as Stephanie and Io say that they respect each other. They shake hands. In come the Kabuki Warriors. Stephanie tells Asuka to get out of her face. Asuka tells her that tonight Stephanie will face Kairi Sane, and she points at her. Sane looks surprised. Stephanie tells Adam Pearce to say it, and Pearce says it's official. Jimmy Uso is in his locker room, and in comes LA Knight. He tells Jimmy that he chose Jimmy for his tag team match tonight. Jimmy says he doesn't think that's a good play. LA Knight tells him last week Jimmy didn't screw him over. Jimmy says he put him on a tough spot. Tonight, LA Knight will find someone else. LA Knight tells him tough spot and walks away. We're going to go to commercial break. Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Grayson Waller versus Penta. The bell rings are underway. Kofi rolls out of the ring and Penta chases him around the ring. Kofi gets in the ring and does Penta, who kicks him, and Kofi falls to the outside of the ring. Penta with a splash over the top rope onto Kofi. Penta throws Kofi back into the ring. Penta on the ring apron as he is jumping. Kofi lands a drop kick. Waller gets in Penta's face, but Penta with a right hand. Kofi on the ring apron, and he kicks Penta in the face. Kofi on the ring apron, he lands on his frog splash onto Penta. Then we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, Penta with a hurricane followed by a kick to the face. Kofi down in the corner, and Penta with a corner handstand double kick. He goes for the cover, but Kofi kicks out. Penta with a chop to the chest. He goes for the Penta driver, but Kofi with a rake. He slams Penta onto the mat and goes for the cover, but Penta kicks out. Kofi climbs to the top rope and jumps. Penta moves out of the way. Kofi lands on his feet, and both men with kicks and right hands. Penta with a kick to the side of the head. Woods gets on the ring apron, and that distracts the referee. Waller gets the ring, but Penta with a drop super kick. Kofi with a rolls Penta with a but Penta gets out of it. Penta jumps off the second rope and lands on Mexican Destroyer springboard. He goes for cover and gets the pin. Winner, Penta. We cut to Jey Uso, who is backstage as he's talking on the phone. In comes Jimmy and Jay. In comes Jimmy. Jay tells them that LA Knight will ask Jimmy to be his tag team partner tonight. Tells Jimmy that he has to say no. Jimmy tells him has to, and tells Jay to listen. Jay tells him they have Bronsons at WrestlePalooza, and no one matters except family. Jimmy tells him that it's what LA Knight told LA Knight, but he won't take orders from him. Jay tells him that he didn't mean it like that, and Jimmy tells him to change his tone. He tells Jay that the last time he checked, there was no fall around his neck. You go to commercial break. Back from commercial, we see Jey Uso at Fenway Park throwing out the first pitch at the Boston Red Sox game. We see LA Knight backstage, and in comes Jimmy Uso, who asks LA Knight if he is looking for a tag team partner, and LA Knight tells him that he doesn't want to put him in a tough position. Jimmy tells him that he is in a good inning and walks away. Burn it down! Hits, and out comes Seth, the piece of crap, and his arrogant tramp wife, Becky the Man Whore Lynch. Seth and Becky stand in the ring and the fans boo. The fans chant CM Punk and says he was going to say the same name of their stupid little town, but instead they want to act like that. He's going to ignore them. Instead, he will address the fans watching on Netflix and he welcomes them to Monday Night Rollins. Who cares? This is 2025, not 2015. You piece of shit. He says now he gets the honor and the privilege of introducing the women's Intercontinental Champion, a New York Times bestseller, a WrestleMania main eventer, the greatest to ever do it, big time Bex, the man whore, Becky freaking Lynch. The fans chant AJ Lee. Becky says she has a lot to say about her, but he won't talk about people behind their backs. She won't talk about people behind their backs. She is not CM Punk. What she has to say will say to her face. Slide up. Hits, and out comes AJ Lee with CM Punk. The fans chant CM Punk, and he says that he is AJ's husband. He is not going to waste their time with a long winding introduction as to say who she is. Punk says the fans came to see her and they know her name. The fans chant AJ Lee, and Punk asks them who their team leader is, who the man is. He says we will begin with Becky, ladies first. Punk says he made a career in this company saying things to people's faces. He calls them goofs. The fans chant goofs. Rollins says they want no style if he punched them in the face. Oh, don't you know that's assault and battery, Seth Rollins? Punk tells them they brag about being the greatest wrestling couple, but they can't get on the same page. They had to listen to 2 crappy songs while he has no problem putting Cult of Personality on the shelf and allowing AJ to light it up. Punk says they share a brain cell and wear a wardrobe, but they can share a spotless. He asks if they will be a unified front, a happily married tag team, or if they can let their egos get in the way. Seth says CM Punk wants to talk about egos. He calls Punk the most selfish human being he has ever met in his life. The fans chant shut the fuck up, and I don't blame him. Becky tells them to show her husband some respect. Well, if Stone Cold Steve Austin was there, Becky, he'll tell you respect this. And that's the finger gesture, which means fuck you. Because that's what Stone Cold Steve Austin does, to flip the finger index, flip the bird. Seth says he will do something selfless and will hurt him immensely. Seth says he doesn't want to do it, but he will. He was going to give CM Punk credit. Seth points to AJ Lee and says, "This is the best decision you have ever made in your entire life." In his personal life, the fans chant, "No one likes him," and Becky says she likes him. Seth says they can hate him all they want. He's still the World Heavyweight Champion. And you're an arrogant World Heavyweight Champion. Punk tells him for now. Rollins tells Punk in mid-terms. Punk tells Punk in terms of business into inserting AJ Lee into this is a mistake that he will regret for the rest of his days. AJ tells Seth that mistake was Seth's, because she will not be here if he doesn't use his own wife as a human shield. Becky tells AJ Lee that no one believed she was going to come back. She didn't expect her to come back, but no one will expect her to come back. Becky says AJ was gone for 10 years, but what she can't really believe is how irresponsible of Punk. Cares about Punk. CM Punk possesses championship in fairness. Cares about AJ Lee. Becky says she read about her book and has some notes, but last week AJ spoke about how she healed mentally. She asked how she feels physically, because in her book AJ spoke about the damage to her neck. She asked about how she is feeling. Becky tells Punk she got Becky tells Punk he got into a blood feud over a crappy little bracelet with her name on it. She asks him how he will feel when she is pummeling her face in because she is the greatest female wrestler of all time. And not just her saying it, others saying it. Punk tells her that no one says it. Seth tells him that he says it all the time. Becky says he is not an asset, he is a liability. AJ thanks Becky for reading her book. She didn't read Becky's. AJ says that Becky is right. She made a good point. She doesn't know how her neck will hold up. The fans chant, AJ, AJ Lee. AJ says it's been 10 years since she took a bump in the ring. She doesn't know what will happen on WrestlePalooza the same way she didn't know what was going to happen 2 weeks ago. She tells Becky she shouldn't worry about her neck. She won 2 titles with her neck. AJ tells Becky she should be worried that not even she knows what she is going to do next. She is erratic. She's a Puerto Rican from New Jersey. Latino, even though it's Hispanic Heritage Month, Puerto Rican from New Jersey. AJ tells Seth that he made a plan and he used his wife as a backup plan, but he cannot plan for something he can predict. Seth laughs and he tells AJ that he doesn't think he can handle her. Seth tells her, listen, little girl. Well, AJ's not a little girl, you idiot. She's a grown-up. Idiot. And she says she is not wrong. He may not be able to predict her husband, and he can read her husband like a book. He tells AJ that her husband is a nasty habit of leaving when things let him down. At WrestlePalooza, when his wife rips her into shreds, she better hope that Punk doesn't leave her too. Oh, that wasn't that. Now why he had to go there, Punk? Why he had to go there, Seth? AJ slaps Seth in the face, and Seth says he never put his hands on a lady. Thankfully, he has someone who will. Becky looks at Seth, and Seth looks at Becky. He points at AJ Lee. Seth and Becky argue, and Seth says this is her fault. Becky leaves the ring, and she tells him that he got them into this. Seth turns around, and Punk is in his face. He shoves Punk and leaves the ring. Punk chases Seth, and around the ring in comes Becky, who hits AJ with a manhandle slam. Punk gets in his face and tells him that he made a big mistake. She slaps Punk twice and leaves the ring. Seth and Becky laugh and kiss as music hits. Yeah, you gonna get yours. Just watch. Just watch, Seth. You and Becky. Just watch, Seth. You and that Irish hoe of a wife of yours. I can get yours. Just watch, because this isn't over. Oh, this is not over yet. This is not over yet. In commercial break, Dragon Lee versus El Grande Americano. Bell rings to run away. Dragon Lee with a drop kick, he backs up, but Americano with a kick to the face. Americano with right hands. Dragon Lee runs towards Americano and lands on a Hurricanrana. Dragon Lee gets in the ring apron, but jumps, but Americano hits him with a cutter. He goes for the cover, but Dragon Lee kicks out. Americano with a kick to the face. He lands on a chop to the chest. Americano on the ring apron, but Dragon Lee with a kick to the face. Dragon Lee jumps over the top rope and lands on Hurricane. Dragon Lee with a suicide dive onto Americano. Back from commercial, Dragon Lee and Americano with chops to the chest. Dragon Lee with a knee to the face, followed by a Liger Bomb. He goes for cover, but Americano kicks out. He grabs Americano, but Americano with a hop to the chest. Americano climbs to the top to the rope, but Dragon Lee trips him up. Americano in a tree of woe. Dragon Lee climbs to the top rope and lands on a double stomp. He goes for cover, but Americano kicks out. Dragon Lee tries to take Americano's mask off, but the referee breaks it up. Americano distracts the referee and Americano gets in the ring and he hits Dragon Lee. Americano climbs to the top rope and slams Dragon Lee onto the mat. He goes for the cover, but Dragon Lee kicks out. AJ Lee runs down to the ring as the second Americano hides under the ring. Joe tells AJ that he is under the ring. AJ goes under the ring and they come off from the side from the other side. AJ throws the second Americano over the barricade. AJ walks towards the timekeeper's area, but in comes the third Americano, and he lands on a tornado DDT. The second Americano distracts the referee. Dragon Lee climbs to the top rope, and the third Americano trips him off the rope. Top rope. Americano gets him into a back submission, and Dragon Lee taps out. Winner El Grande Americano. And we all know that's that piece of shit Chad Gable. We cut backstage and Bayley is heard arguing. We hear a slam on the door, and on the outside Lyra knocks and she walks in. She sees Bayley sitting on the couch on her phone. Lyra asks her who is she talking to, and Bayley tells her, huh? Lyra thanks her for helping her against Judgment Day, especially after what she said to her. Bayley thanks Lyra for showing her that idiots still exist. She tells her that Bayley never told her come in her locker room. She could have everything. She could have been changing. Yeah, one thing I can mention. Becky Lynch tells the fans to show her husband some respect. What about you, Becky? You didn't respect Ozzy Osbourne, didn't you? Because you're racist. You're Irish, and he's a Brit. So that's pot calling the kettle black. That's what I forgot to mention earlier for all of you. We cut to Stephanie McMahon and Rhea Ripley. She tells Stephanie if it is her on EO, he wants her to know that she is coming for her in good luck. Stephanie tells her that she is winning. We go to commercial break. Stephanie McMahon versus Kairi Sane with Asuka. The bell rings. We're underway. Both women exchange holds, and they get to their feet. Kairi extends her hand for a handshake. They shake hands, and Asuka yells in Japanese at ringside. Sane goes for a right hand, but she is thrown into ropes and lands on a scissor takedown. Stephanie gets back to her feet, and Zane with a drop kick. Zane with a flying forearm. She goes for the cover, but Zane kicks out. Stephanie gets on the ring apron, and Zane slides under her. She goes for a powerbomb, but Stephanie holds onto the rope. Stephanie lands on a double knees to the face. Back from commercial, Stephanie with a drop kick followed by a double knees to the face in the corner. Stephanie lifts Zane up, but Zane lands on her feet, and she hits Stephanie with a forearm. Stephanie takes Stephanie down in the corner, and Zane with a forearm to the face. Zane climbs to the top rope and jumps. Stephanie moves out of the way. Zane lands on her feet, and Stephanie moves out of the way. Zane lands on her feet, and Stephanie with a DDT. She goes for the cover, but Zane kicks out. Stephanie goes for a suplex, but Zane reverses into a DDT. Zane climbs to the top rope, but Stephanie gets to her feet and hits Zayn with a right hand. Stephanie on second rope, but Zayn with right hands. Zayn with a headbutt and Stephanie in the tree of woe. Zayn with a double stomp. She goes for cover, but Stephanie kicks out. Zayn with a right hand, but Stephanie with right hands. Stephanie with a dragon screw. Zayn rolls out to the outside of the ring, and Stephanie climbs to the top rope. Stephanie with a crossbody onto Zayn and Asuka. Stephanie throws Zayn back into the ring, and she lands on a devil's kiss. Stephanie with the SVB. She goes for the cover and gets the pin. Winner, Stephanie Vicari. Asuka's getting in the ring after the match, but Io Sky's music hits, and she runs to the ring. She gets in the middle of Stephanie and Asuka, stopping Asuka. Io and Asuka argue as Asuka leaves the ring. Io turns around and she is face to face with Stephanie. They shake hands in the ring. Io package of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed airs. They call Usos the best tag team in history up until now, and the Vision has them looking up at the lights. Back from commercial, the Buki Warriors argue with Io Sky backstage. Io Sky says she wants to do this by herself. Asuka yells in Japanese and walks away. It's like Asuka is crying. It's like Kairi Sane is crying. Cut to the Judgment Day toasting backstage. They toasted Dum Dum winning the AA Mega Championship, which is stupid. Finn tells them to take it easy because Raquel and Roxy lost tonight. Raquel tells them that they are fine. Finn asks Dum Dum what is going on with El Grande Americano. JD tells Dum Dum that they want to know what is happening. Dominic tells them that this is crazy, and maybe El Grande Americano just wants his respect. Finn says it's crazy, and the next time he needs their help, not to go see them. Finn and JD walk away. In comes Rusev, and he tells Dum Dum that he is the next Intercontinental Champion. LA Knight and Jimmy Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. The bell rings and we're underway. Jimmy and Braun start the match. Braun to the ropes and he lands on a shoulder tackle. Braun goes for a not right hand, but Jimmy with a right hand followed by a chop to the chest. Jimmy to the ropes and he lands on a spinning back elbow. Braun back to his feet and he clotheslined Jimmy. Braun throws Jimmy to the corner and Reed is tagged in. Reed lifts Jimmy up, but Jimmy lands on his feet and Jimmy with a kick to the side of the head. LA Knight is tagged in. LA Knight with the right hands. LA Knight goes for a suplex, but Reed blocks it with an elbow to the face. He runs toward LA Knight, but LA Knight trips him up in the corner. LA Knight with kicks in the corner, followed by a running knees to the face. Jimmy is tagged in and he lands on a hip attack. In comes Braun Breaker, but they clothesline him to the outside of the ring. Back from commercial, Reed and Jimmy are in the ring. Reed tags Braun in the ring. Braun with a back suplex, he goes for cover. Braun lets go and does push-ups. In comes LA Knight from behind who kicks Braun, but the referee breaks it up. Braun places Jimmy on the top rope. Braun goes for a suplex, but Jimmy with right hands, he knocks Braun down. Jimmy goes for a tag, but Braun grabs Jimmy's arm and he throws Jimmy for a back drop. Reed is tagged in and he lands on body slam. Reed goes for a senton, but Jimmy moves out of the way. He climbs to the top rope and he lands a whisper in the wind. LA Knight is tagged in, and as is Braun. LA Knight with a clothesline, he knocks Reed off the ring apron. LA Knight with a neck breaker onto Braun. He grabs Braun, but Braun with a knee to the face, and Reed is tagged in. LA Knight with a clothesline followed by a reverse DDT. LA Knight climbs to the top rope. Jimmy tags himself in. LA Knight with a leaping elbow. Jimmy with a Uso splash. He goes for the cover, but Braun breaks it up. LA Knight with a clotheslines Braun breaker to the outside, and Jimmy throws Reed to the outside. Reed goes for a suicide dive, but Reed with a right hand, he throws Jimmy back into the ring. LA Knight with a leaping clothesline off the ring steps onto Reed. He throws Reed back into the ring. Jimmy with a super kick followed by a spear. Jimmy climbs to the top rope, and Braun with a flying shoulder attack onto Knight. On the outside of the ring, Braun trips Jimmy up onto the top rope, and Bronson with a jagged edge. He goes for the cover and gets the pin. Winners Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Braun hits Jimmy with a spear after the match. Jay's music hits, and out he comes to the ring with a chair. He hits Braun with it and gets in the ring. Reed punches the chair and hits Jay with right hands, and Jay with Reed hits Reed with the chair and hits and Reed with the outside of the ring. Jay drops the chair, and LA Knight grabs it, and he stands behind Jay. And Jay turns around. LA Knight looks at him with the chair, and he throws Jay to the chair. He extends his hand. LA Knight shakes his hand. They hug. As Jay turns around, LA Knight hits him with a BFT. LA Knight leaves the ring, and he goes off the air. Wow, looks like LA Knight returned the favor from last Monday, didn't he? LA Knight did, but LA Knight is what Jay did to him. Payback. Man, this was, what did I tell you? This was a terrible night, terrible show tonight. Now I got that covered. Now I know. I know. I don't think WrestleView be this any good this Saturday. I know it's okay. Now let's see. To give you my little predictions. Raw. Io Sky versus Stephanie McCare singles match for the vacant women's Raw Women's World Championship. I'm gonna say Stephanie McCare will become the Women's World Champion. There'll be interference from the Kabuki Warriors. And Io, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. That's what I believe. The Usos, Jimmy and Jay versus Division, Bronson Reed and Braun. I say Division's gonna get this tag team match. CM Punk versus AJ Lee versus Seth piece of shit Rollins in the man whore Becky Lynch in a mixed tag team match. I say CM Punk and AJ Lee. If Seth and his Mick whore of a wife Becky wins, I will freak out in Indianapolis right here. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre single match for the undisputed WWE title. I'm gonna say Cody Rhodes, and I know what's gonna happen. Drew McIntyre is gonna throw a little temper tantrum as always. And a singles match, the main event, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with Cena, because I don't know why in the world we had to see this match over and go with Cena versus Brock Lesnar over again. I mean, how many times are we gonna see Cena versus Lesnar? This is 2025, not 2003. It's not the damn ruthless aggression era. That's right. It'll be live on I'm not reason why I decided to do the SmackDown, do the predictions for the SmackDown, and Raw and SmackDown, because I'm gonna be out of town on Friday. I'm gonna be out of town Friday. Seeing visit my nephew to Tallahassee, Florida, to see my nephews and nieces and my brothers and his new wife. Yeah, that's why I decided to do the predictions for Raw and SmackDown because I won't be here Friday for doing the for SmackDown predictions. So I'll be doing both Raw and SmackDown night. It'll be live on ESPN in the United States. ESPN. It'll be on ESPN. Yeah, on ESPN Unlimited, and it will be on internationally on Netflix. I believe WrestlePalooza might be a disaster. I think ESPN, the deal with ESPN, I mean, I think the WWE is really desperate. Okay, now we all know it's time. Now it's time for. Hold on a second. I'm trying to find the thing. I'm sorry for that loud thing you heard. All you know what it's time for. It's time for just in this time history, all the wrestling birthdays, pop culture, and history, everything. All you hear the things came from Back to the Future starring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. It celebrated its 40th anniversary on July 3rd, 2025. The movie released July 3rd, 1985. So let's get down to business with tonight's tonight's terrible show. Let's go for last Saturday, September the 13th. Okay, September 13th. Hold on a second. Okay, September 13th, 2005, marked the tragic passing of a Japanese wrestler. Her name is Chimi Kitagami. She was born November 17th, 1982, died September 13th, 2005. Baron Corbin turned 41 last Saturday. Let's see. See on a second. See. Okay, on see in 1975 on WWF WWE Prime All Star Wrestling. 1975. Superstar Billy Graham and the Grand Wizard defeated Tom Stanton, the Blackjacks, Lanza and Mulligan, with Captain Will Bynum defeated Buddy Porter and Buzz Sawyer. Barry Michaels Coon defeated Manuel Miranda. Francisco Flores versus Frank Monte ended in a double countout. Louis Sedan and Tony Parisi with Andre Giant versus Bugsy McGraw with Captain Lou Albino, and Waldo Von Erich with Castle Brasky ended in a time limit draw. And one birthday, Angelina Love, she turns 44. Let's see, 1985 on Friday Night Titans on the wide Vince McMahon called Tuesday Night Titans. You been on that on your own. You been on that on. See. Let's see. Tuesday Night Titans. Hold on a second. Tuesday Night Titans. Vince McMahon introduces Macho Man, Randy Savage, Ricky Dragon Steamboat, and more on more join show and points against the Hulk Hogan's new cartoon, Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling. Let's see. See 1985. See 1985. See. Yeah, movie, the cult classic Martin Scorsese movie. An old friend of mine from Pittsburgh remembers this movie. The Martin Scorsese cult classic movie. The cult classic. After Hours was released. Very, very good movie. After Hours, starring Griffin Dunn, Rosanna Arquette, Cheech and Chong, Catherine O'Hara, and her Home Alone co-star John Hurt was in that movie. The movie's a cult classic. After Hours, really good movie. Now let's go to September the 14th. Custom I just did. Okay, Moondog Vushan. He would have been '96. He would have been 96 yesterday. Penelope Ford, she turned 33 yesterday. And 1985 on Saturday mornings. I know JD remembered these cartoons because he grew up. A friend of mine from Pittsburgh remembers these shows because he grew up in the 80s. Yeah, I remember JD remembers these shows. A friend of mine from Pittsburgh remembers these shows very well. September 14th, 1985, 9 shows debuted on American television. Saturday mornings, Disney's Adventures of Gummy Bears on NBC, The Wuzzles on CBS, and It's Punky Brewster on NBC. Anime series based on the television sitcom that NBC aired on in 1984, and Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling on CBS. And rest in peace to the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan. Little Muppet Monsters on CBS, and Care Bears in syndication, and the Bear Sting Bear Show on CBS. In prime time, and the TV shows that started all, 227 and the Gold Girls debut on NBC. And then on wrestling, WWF Championship Wrestling. Pedro Morales and Tito Santana defeated David Barbie and Terry Gibbs. King Tonga defeated Gino Cabello. Bret the Hitman Hart and the Hart Foundation with Jimmy Hart defeated Lenny Poffo and Rick McGraw. And Steve Garrett defeated Mr. X, and Ricky Steamboat defeated Mr. Fuji. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat defeated Mr. Fuji. And on WWF WWE Also Wrestling, Intercontinental Champion Tito Santana defeated Gino Cabello via submission with a figure 4 leg lock. During the bout, Jimmy Hart joined Jimmy Hart and Jesse Ventura at ringside to argue why she should be named Manager of the Year. Adrian Downs defeated Bob Marcus. Brian Blair and Jim Roselle defeated Ted Grizzly and Terry Gibbs. Corporate Christian defeated Steve Lombardi. Macho Man Randy Savage defeated Brian McNee. And let's see. What else? And on Monday Night Raw, just hours before on the night before Night of Champions 2015, New Day, Big E, and Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods defeated Primetime Players and Darren Young and Titus O'Neil to retain the WWE Tag Team Championship. Sasha Banks and with Naomi Tamina defeated Paige with Becky Lynch by submission. John C. defeated Sheamus. Charlotte with Paige and Becky Lynch defeated Nikki Bella with Big Bella and Alicia Fox by DQ in a Divas Championship match. Cesaro defeated Rusev with Summer Rae. Sting defeated Big Show by DQ. John Cena and Sting defeated Seth Rollins and Big Show by submission. And then Wyatt family appeared on Miz TV. Kevin Owens to confront Ryback. And Stephanie McMahon came out and announced that she didn't beat she didn't beat Nikki Bella, she beat Brie. So therefore Brie Bella retained before she didn't win the title, Charlotte. So so it's a disqualification. Nikki Bella still the Divas Championship, and Charlotte still wins. John Cena and Sting defeated Seth Rollins and Big Show by submission. I just mentioned to end off the show and to end Monday Night Raw. And now Monday Night Football. Okay, San Francisco 49ers beat the Vikings 20-3 on Monday Night Football on ESPN. Now let's go to today's September the 15th. Okay. Adorable Adrian Adonis would have been Adrian Adonis would have been 71 today. Late Adorable Adrian Adonis, Canadian wrestler. Died of a car crash. It was on 4th of July 1988. Down in Buffalo, New York, and he was a Canadian wrestler. God rest his soul. And Phil LaFine. Wait, I think his birthday is 16th. Phil LaFine. And Italian wrestler Gino Caruso. He went 62. He's 62 today. Italian wrestler Gino Caruso. And Mike, he would have been 85 today. '85 years old today. Died on April 30th, 1988 of diabetes. His real name is Gary Fletcher. Wilbur Snyder, he would have been, he was born September 15, 1920. He died on Christmas Day, December 25th, 1991, in my hometown, Poplar Beach. Wilbur Snyder, he would have been 96 today. Wilbur Snyder. And on this day, on 1985, Saturday, which is Saturday, series, February, September 15th. Trying to see, September 15th, 1985. Trying to see September. What happened? See, September 15th. WWE Primetime Wrestling, All-Star Wrestling, All-Star All-American Wrestling. Lenny, from Port Kitchen, New York, August 20th, 1985. Lenny Poffel defeated jobber Joe Voigt. Yep, Joe Voigt. And on this day in 1995, a couple of movies were released in theaters. No good friend of mine from Jetty remember these movies. Angus, cult classic Angus, starring late George C. Scott, Kathy Bates, still alive. Ariana Richards from a TV show. Ariana Richards from that TV show. What's it called? Ariana Richards from that TV show. From that movie Jurassic Park. James Vanderbeek from Dawson's Creek was in that movie as well. Hackers was a movie was released starring Academy Award winner Angelina Jolie, Johnny Lee Miller. The supporting cast in the movie was cool. Felicity Huffman from Desperate Housewives, Emmy Award winner. And Jesse Bradford was in that movie too. Renoli Santiago was in that movie from on that movie Dangerous Minds, and Lorraine Brasco was in that movie from The Sopranos and the Academy Award winning movie Goodfellas, Martin Scorsese movie. A movie called Meet Witness was released. Scary movie that stars Falls and Harry Hill was released, starring Robert Duvall, Aidan Quinn, and French Special, and Brian Dennehy was released. Unstrung Hero starring Andy McDowell, John Turturro, Michael Richards from Seinfeld was released. And Canadian Bacon was a movie, one of the last films that wait. a movie called Clockers was released starring Harvey Keitel, John Turturro, Kai Pfeiffer, Zay Washington, Keith David, and Delroy Lindo and Harvey Keitel was released in theaters. Directed by Spike Lee, really good movie. And this day in 2015. And wait, a TV show on this day in 1995 called Maybe This Time was starring what's her name, Marie Osmond, Ashley Johnson from Growing Pains, and the late Betty White. Some of you know from Golden Girls, was aired on ABC on this day 1995. And what else? 2015. Trying to figure out. Oh, what's his name? This other see. Main event. No. Trying to see. See what else you trying to see. Total Divas. Yeah, Total Divas aired the episode entitled "Unwarranted Proposal." Was the 11th episode of season 4. In the episode, Dan Bryan informed Brie Bella that the WWE officials were not ready for him to return to the ring, and Brie Bella noticed a significant difference in their mindset regarding their future. And on main event, Rusev with Summer Rae defeated Jack Swagger, Bo Dallas defeated Zack Ryder, and Lucha Dragons Kalisto Cole and Sin Cara defeated the Ascension, Conor Victor. And that's it. That will do it. That will cover for my review today. For tonight, I'm not gonna be I'm gonna spend my time with my family. I'm gonna be out of town Friday. I'll be watching this video. I'm gonna be spending time with my nephews and niece. So I won't be doing the show Friday for SmackDown, and I won't do Saturday's WrestlePalooza review. But I'll do the WrestlePalooza review on Sunday when I come back here to Indiana. So hope all of you have a good night. And the Godfather Soldier Slim was a late chat. He shout out to say I like to dress up a cheddar checker, sing like Leonard Tree, dance like James Brown. I like to get in a hot tub, gonna be sweat, gonna be dry, gonna be wet. Referring to Eddie Murphy doing an impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live. One of the birthday got to mention for all of you. Teddy Long, his birthday was Teddy Long. Who meant holla holla holla. I forgot to mention it to all of you. He turned 78 yesterday. And King Curtis Ikea would have been 88 years old. King Curtis Ikea, the man managed WWE managing Kamala in WWE and part of Dungeon Doom in WCW. So that'll do it. I'll wrap it up for my show. The birthday. Other birthdays for today. I'm just all you just mentioned. King Curtis Ikea, the late King Curtis Ikea, and still alive. Teddy Long. Birthday today. So that'll do it. It's late chat here. Shard say like dress up a cheddar checker, dance like James Brown. Sing like Leonard Tree, like to get in the hot tub, gonna be sweat, gonna make me dry, gonna make me wet. Referring to Eddie Murphy doing an impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live. I never grew up in the 80s, I grew up in the 90s, so I saw reruns of old school Saturday Night Live when I was little. I'll do it for my show tonight. And now I'm gonna close out a little bit of music for all of you tonight. The name of the song is called "Cherish" by R&B single from 1985 called "Cherish" by Kool and the Gang. So so Paul, all of you, good night. So so Paul, of you, good night, and subscribe to me, God, for those who here is some close out the show tonight. Cherish by Cool in the Gang. Cherish the love we had. Cherish.